What's going on, everybody? It's Too Generic. We're back at it again. It's your host, Cam,
And
and
Rich,
Cam and Rich. So we're here today. Today we got a list of things to talk about. Not just some NBA. We got a little WNBA. We also got some UFC that we want to discuss. So I think we're gonna start it off with some UFC 299. Last night was UFC Fight Night. It was pretty solid. Rosenstruck ended up headlining the event, and he got the dub.
yep,
Fourth round finish. In between the fourth and fifth round, what's his name? Shamil.
yeah, he wasn't even ranked. They were just trying to, you know, get him, trying to move him into the rankings, and just, have Rosenstrike as their, what do they call it? Their gatekeeper of that
Yeah,
head. So they weren't able
but
to fast.
Shamil wasn't ready. Rosenstruck was not trying to lose that spot. He said, "I got one more headline loss in me,"
Yep.
and he wasn't using it tonight. So he
Yeah.
was getting that dub. He was not giving up to Shamil, and now he'll get to fight.
Now they're saying
Get
that Eric Lewis should
And
be
then
him.
now you'll get the fight of Derek Lewis. You get knocked out and you get 200 grand. And that's his way out, Because if you get knocked out by Shamel, nothing happens because you don't get another good fight.
Yeah, you're done.
So Rosenstruck really was like back to the wall here. I know he was fighting for a contract. Like this was a fight that they were like, setting him up for that he would probably think is easy, but he knew what it was. He knew it was a squash match. It was to get him out.
Especially where he was in the rankings. He's number 12, and this guy wasn't even ranked. So if you lose, you're probably out of the rankings. So
Right.
he had a lot more pressure on him than that guy did.
Yep. Now he wins, keeps his ranking. I don't know if he'll climb. He really shouldn't climb beating an unranked opponent. But
Probably.
if he's a potential contender, then you have an argument, to
Yeah.
say like maybe it was, you know, a good win. I think
But
it was. It was a decent fight. There were good fights throughout. There's some crazy knockouts. There was a flying knee. There was a three-piece that was just perfectly landed. Like the dude barely even looked like he had steam on it. He just said, "Tss, tss, tss."
oh
Like,
yeah, that first set guy slept Schnell.
yeah,
That that
slapped him.
that,
Just
that
the
was
cleanest, shortest punches too. There was nothing on him. He didn't wind up and cock back. Just bing, bing, bing.
less
Just
is
like
more.
how you do in like the practice room on some pads. Like it was
Yeah.
just ding, ding, ding. It happened so quick. Dude just dropped. And that was the other thing. Like he didn't fly. He just buckled.
No, it
It
was
was
just
so clean and fast. It really was. It was like a button, like clicked on, clicked off type thing, like a switch. But what else happened? The girl fight was decent.
I
What?
don't remember what I was. It wasn't that I wasn't really that interested in the card.
Yeah, I didn't. It was. That's what I'm saying. I don't know their names. I'm saying. I'm not even saying the dudes' names either. I barely even remember. But
The Ahmed Makayev guy, the flyweight, who's kind of been a big contender. He's been rising up in the rankings. He won.
yeah,
And then there was who was the other one? There was another Umar Nurmagomedov. He won again.
yeah.
So he's
That
still
was a
undefeated.
grind match though. They were wrestling the whole time.
Yeah.
Like
He
they
was
just kept trying
dominating.
to pin each other to the ground. That fight was whatever. Let me think. I'm be honest. I missed. I'd say the majority of the Victor Petrino fight. I was playing a little league and I missed that one.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Rosenstruck and I was like, I'll play some TFT on the computer, and then I had it going here on a stream off my Xbox, and I was like turning back for it. But honestly, the Petrino fight I didn't watch too much of.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, but yeah, the Shamel, man, they thought they were gonna get him, but he just got whooped out.
Yeah.
He was just a wrestler. I don't know what they thought was gonna happen. Maybe just he'd get Rosenstruck would get caught with one. Shamel would just lay on top of him until he basically is TKO'd.
That's
Like
what
I
the
think
UFC.
that was the hope. What?
Yeah, that's what the UFC was hoping. They were trying to fast
Yeah, I
track.
think that's really what they thought was going to happen. But when we move on to 299. You know, the fight card doesn't start on the main card. If you've looked at 299, even in the prelims, we're seeing a Michael Pichera fight.
Yep.
Early prelims, not prelims.
Yeah, that's only the 5th fight of the night.
Early prelims. I'm talking. These are the guys that you have no. They're supposed to, not know who these people are. And Lauren Murphy was supposed to be on this card. She ended up. It got canceled. I don't know how, but Lauren Murphy's like an OG in the women's division. You got Pichera, who's just a highlight reel, and you're putting him on at 2:00 compared to whatever the main card is. Prelim has Pedro Munoz, who's no slouch. Gamrot, who is fighting for the belt next.
I mean, he's up there in the
Let's
rank.
be real. If Gamrot beats RDA in this fight, he's most likely fighting for the belt, or he's fighting like a headliner. You're fighting Gaethje, you're fighting Poirier, you're fighting McGregor. Like the biggest of names in that division. You're fighting Islam.
Yeah, Gamrot's 6th. He's 6th.
That's what I'm saying. Why is he 6th and he's fighting RDA on an undercard? That's a true squash match. They want like a solidified name, a former champion that Gamrot beats. And when you beat a champion, you get to fight a champion and you get to fight for the belt. That's usually like a UFC rule. So
And RDA,
I think Gamrot's up next. If he wins, especially in a deciding fashion, it's his.
yeah.
Then you got Blades, who beat the piss out of the champion of the heavyweight division, Tom Aspinwall, for like a minute.
Yeah.
And then Aspinwall tears his ACL. But like, let's not act like he didn't get his ass whooped that whole fight, and that ACL saved his life and his career. Because if Aspinwall didn't tear his ACL, ironically, he would not be champion right now, because he would have got a loss instead of an injury stoppage. And he wouldn't have got the same. What?
Aspinall's looked better ever since.
He has looked better ever since. Maybe it forced him to work on his lower body and get more maybe explosive or something. But my God, if we could watch the beginning of that fight, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. And the Blades and Almeida fight was supposed to be a main event in Brazil last year. I think Blades was hurt.
Hold on. You know what? I don't know. Stream it. Why not? I'm gonna share a screen. I'm gonna see if we could do this. How does this look on StreamYard? Okay. Watch this. He's going to push the action. But he's got to be careful. Courage just landed 2 huge right hands. And then it's over.
It was over. Slept him.
Nah. But it's like, I don't know. I just seen a whole bunch of low kicks, and it felt like Curtis Blades was set to piece him up. But maybe he didn't land good off the kick, and then that's where it tore, and then that's why he got pieced up. Who knows? But I think Blades would have did him dirty.
And who do you got in this fight? The Blades and the Almeida fight.
This is tough, but Almeida's really just a wrestler. At the end of the day, he's like super built and everything, but he's not much of like a flashy athlete.
Yeah, he's not much of a striker. I feel like Blades.
He's not a striker. He's built like a power lifter or whatever. He's really built, but he just pushes people around.
I'm still gonna take Almeida though. I like Almeida.
I'm taking Blades because Blades has a whole package. Pause. But you gotta see. He's got the stand-up. He's a former, I believe he was like an All-American wrestler. He was like the real deal in wrestling. He's got the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's got the stand-up. I think he's got the whole thing. And he's also got the better name. Razor Blades. He does. So I'm rooting for Razor Blades to get this victory. Not off of that. I don't put anything into that. But I'm just jokingly saying.
But he has more experience.
Razor Blades. But I do think he's the better fighter. Like I said, I think Almeida is more of just a guy who's just like, he just pushes weight around, and he could push some people around who also don't have the power to get him back, which I think Blades does.
But he's also fought some of the top heavyweights in the UFC too. Like he's fought, he's fought Derek. He got slept by Derek Lewis. He's fought Rosenstrike.
Uppercut was nasty.
Crazy.
By Lewis.
Those follow-up shots were so unnecessary.
They were so unnecessary. The dude literally was in a fetal position the second it touched his face. He rolls back. Rolls forward. I forget what, but it was bad.
Yeah, no, he was on his back sleeping.
Yeah. I just know that uppercut came and changed the whole trajectory of that fight.
It took a while for him to go down.
It did. He was in slow-mo, but that's how you know, like, he stiffened up. His body was freaking out.
Yeah.
So
I felt like he was standing up unconscious for so long. It felt way he standing up like that when he was sleeping.
Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, I got a lot of hope in Blades. I think he's a dog. I really do. I mean, you get slept and still not be a bum. I mean, we've seen everybody get knocked out at this point. I've seen Pacquiao get knocked out. I know damn sure he's not a bum.
All right.
So it's like, a lot of people, you could take a loss. But I think that's what's good about the UFC is that the UFC has opened up losing. Losing is more acceptable and in a more like respectable sense. Because in boxing, like if you weren't undefeated, you weren't nobody. Like the second you started getting losses, you were a scrub. Then you became a can. You're a can now. You got 2 losses. You're 24-2. He fought cans and then he lost. He fought 2 good guys and he lost. He's a can now. Like you just turn into a can so fast in boxing. With UFC, you could take a couple lumps and you could come back better. You could come back with a new game plan. People will understand matchup is a real thing. You could have been facing a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy and you're a stand-up fighter and he has good takedowns. There's just like certain matchups that just don't work and people kind of give you a little more leniency on. Like also, if you put
short notice fights too. There's so many short notice fights nowadays that people don't knock you as much for it if you lose or even if you get finished in the first round or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone was really, really excited because Usman and Volkanovski saved that card.
Yeah,
saved that card last year too. So everyone was really happy for them, even though they both lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. You could root for people in a loss. It just all depends how that loss is. But I feel like in boxing, like, I don't know. And that was kind of the first professional sport for fighting that people could really judge and have opinions on and went mainstream. But yeah, with UFC, like it's fine to lose. It's not career ending. You're not just some bum. Like the second Jake Paul loses, he's a bum. Like no one cares anymore. He lost to Tommy Fury in a decision where he dropped Tommy Fury in the 8th round, and he was the only person to be dropped the entire fight. Like, and he still gets the loss, and then now he's a bum. And I'm like, you dropped a professional fighter in the 8th round, which
one last
in the 8th round yourself. Like this is a professional fight. This is Tyson Fury's son. I mean, that's his brother. This is his son. His son. No, but this is his little brother, and he's supposed to be like, this new up and coming fighter and everything. And Jake Paul, this guy who is a YouTuber, has been boxing for 2 years, is dropping him in the 8th round.
And Jake Paul won last too.
Yeah, and he won last night too in a different weight class. He fought at a 200.
Yep, knocked out the guy in the first round. But no one cares. Now no one
cares. That's what I'm saying. Nobody cares because this guy has lost. But like there are still people who are betting and rooting and tuning in the same way I am. I know people are tuning in, even probably RDA fans.
But he also he doesn't have the name that he's fighting either.
Who?
Like I mean, Jake Paul didn't have the name. Like he was
Jake Paul. Yeah.
Bigger names like Tyron Woodley or Nate Diaz or somebody like that. So no one really cares.
Right.
That's another thing. And I think that guy's an actual boxer.
Yeah, he was an actual boxer. Apparently, he does something. He does something well. He's a champion, former champion of something.
But he's also like 8 years older than Jake Paul too, which is older guy.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't impressive. I want to find like they should have someone his age with his experience. It make more sense to me. Then I don't think he would do as good.
But that's the thing about boxing. Nobody young has a good record and has a name. They have to beat the 20 cans still.
Yeah, that's true.
To get the name, you need the 20-0. Now you're the new up and comer. But that's just what it is. So you'll never know the 3-0 guy who's trying to come up and is nice and has a lot of potential. That you'll never know that guy.
And he was trying to call out Canelo too.
But you can in UFC with what's his name? The young guy, the Bo Nickel.
Yep.
Bo Nickel, we've been seeing since his first fight in the UFC. You know what I'm saying? And then he has this just like he's climbing. And he could take an L right now. People they wouldn't call him a bum. They'd say, you know what? He's fighting. He's new to the sport. He's trying new things. He's a wrestler, and he's throwing hands.
He's only got, 5 or 6 fights professionally in MMA.
Right.
You got to give him.
There aren't stories like that elsewhere because they can't afford to prop that guy up and then he loses because it defeats every story they've ever told.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like boxing has been telling stories and promoting certain people because of losses and wins. And it's like if that 5-1 guy or 5-0 guy is now 5-2, can't sell that story anymore. People already seen people watch 2 hours on top of it because fights are 15 rounds, 12, 15 rounds, and they're dumb long. So you're telling me I had to watch this guy for 4 hours and he lost at the end of both fights, 2 hours each fight, and you want me to keep tuning into this guy? Like that's kind of just how boxing is, and it's kind of sad.
But even if you have a bad UFC, people don't really care. Like Nate Diaz didn't necessarily have a good record in the UFC, and he's still a fan favorite. Or like,
Volkanovski is on a 4-fight loss streak, right?
Nah,
damn near. Like other than like
2. No, 3. Yeah, 3 out of 4.
3.
Lost 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
Lost against Makhachev in that 5-round fight.
Yep.
Then TKO'd Yair Rodriguez.
Yep, TKO'd right here.
Got slept on short notice by Makhachev, and then he got by Topuria.
Right. So Volkanovski is lost 3 out of his 4 fights. But even before he just got slept by Ilia Topuria, he was 2 out of his last 3 he lost. So he's 1 for 3. And he's still got a championship fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some things that, as long as it's a good fight, people are not going to knock you. You just can't go out there and look like a bum. You could even be Jose Aldo, who got slept in 10 seconds, because it's fine. Because in the UFC, it's called getting caught. You got caught. That's it. You slipped. That's it. You got caught. And they'll give you another chance to redeem yourself. Boxing does not do that. So that's why, I don't know. I think UFC is cool like that. And I got a lot of hope. Even Peter Yan is on this card coming up.
He's on a 3-fight losing streak.
Right, 3-fight losing streak. And he's fighting Song Yadong. In what other world would you be on and he's fighting that guy?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it could be a really weird fight that Yan wins.
I'm going with Yan too. I agree.
I'm going Yan.
Going Yan.
I love Yan.
Losing streak stops now.
So we're going for Yang versus Song there. What about Burns and Jack Madella? Madalena, however you say his name.
Della Maddalena, right? I think that's how you say it.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah. But I don't know. Is Burns gonna strike with him? That's the question. Is Burns just gonna try to take him down and dominate him on the ground like he did with Wonder Boy, or is he actually gonna try to strike with him? Because I don't know. I think Della Maddalena's striking is too clean.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's kind of tough. That's really a toss-up.
I'm going Burns because I think Burns isn't going to keep doing these firefights with people anymore. He's going to want to get a win. He's tired of playing their game to get the win to be cool. That's what I think.
That's what he did with all too. He just took him down and dominated him.
Yeah. And then look what he did with Chimaev. He wanted to stand and throw blows for 15 minutes, and you just don't win those sometimes. He's not going to leave it up to chance no more. He wants to win by points. Gilbert Burns is an older fighter with a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and grappling experience. I think he needs to lean on that heavy against a guy like Jack who just throws hands. He's clean. We know he's clean. Probably top 5 hands in the sport. But if you're pressed against the cage and the other guy's got hands around you, it's going to be tough to throw him. And I think that's what Gilbert Burns has.
I think I'm gonna take Jack though.
You're going to take Jack there? Okay.
Able to.
What about Holland versus Venom Page?
That's another great fight.
Because Venom Page has never fought in the UFC before. This is his debut, and he's fighting Motor Mouth Holland.
Yep. Trailblazer.
The Trailblazer.
I think I'll say.
Wait.
I really like Holland. I'm gonna take.
I
Holland.
like Holland too. I was gonna take Holland in this fight mainly because Page has lost his last few fights. They've gone to decisions. He was a dog against Mike Perry in the bare knuckle boxing. But his last fight was weird. So he gets this win. He breaks his loss streak, but it was basically like an Aspinwall situation where the guy snapped his knee in the first 20 seconds. He stepped weird backwards against the cage, and the way he stepped, his heel hit the cage and his foot hit the mat, and his knee buckled, and then he dropped.
Damn.
So Page didn't knock the dude out, but he kicked him. And then when he landed, he stepped on the cage, tore his knee up. But they're blaming they're calling it a TKO leg kick. The guy landed weird. It's almost like calling McGregor's leg snap Poirier's TKO leg kick. No,
right.
He kicked and then landed hard. And that landing, however he planted, snapped it.
Yeah, that should have been a no.
Yeah, it's no contest. I won't call McGregor's second loss to Poirier a loss, but the first one, he got that leg chewed up in the first one, had no footwork left, and got pieced up.
He did. He didn't get really knocked out. I want to say knocked out because if his leg wasn't up like that, we've never seen McGregor flatline.
He wasn't flat.
Yeah.
Kamaru Usman was flatlined. He was in another universe dreaming about turtles in space, just like floating.
If I ever see McGregor flatlined, I'm never watching the UFC again.
Right?
If he fights again. Who knows if he's ever going to fight again? But
Chandler could do it. Chandler's the type of guy that could lay you flat.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting fight if it actually happens, though. Just their style.
It should be against somebody else. I don't know who
else. You don't want to see that?
I don't want to see the Chandler versus McGregor fight.
You're scared for McGregor?
I'm scared for McGregor.
So who should he fight?
Because I also like Michael Chandler. The more and more I watch Michael Chandler and learn about who he is, I kind of like him.
He's on roids too.
He's got a roid belly, but he seems like a family man and a really good person.
Yeah. So who should he fight? Diaz? Get him an easy win?
Yeah, I think they should just do the third fight trilogy with Diaz. They're trying to hold that off as to be like his last fight, but it might actually ruin his career that he has to fight someone rusty that's good and then fight him off the loss. It's kind of whack. But if you just break the rust off, break the ice, start it again with McGregor and Diaz, and who the hell knows? If Diaz wins, maybe you got a couple more fights with Diaz there or whatever. I think the possibilities are better. Because even if he whoops Diaz's ass, now you got McGregor confident again. Now he probably will want to get back in the ring because he'll feel like he did something. The one thing you got to be fearful of is if he feels like that was the last chapter of his career, that when he beats Nate Diaz, that he just retires, and then you don't get an extra fight out of him either. It's all about that. Like, what do you think really will happen if he fights Nate Diaz next? Is it the retiring fight, win or loss, no matter what? Is it the catalyst to get him to be motivated again? Does he lose? And then that's just the end of McGregor too. I don't know.
It seems like such an easy fight for him.
Yeah, especially if it's at like 185 or 170. I think McGregor would whoop his ass.
But compared how Diaz has looked and how McGregor has looked, granted McGregor's had a playoff, I still think McGregor kills him.
Diaz just doesn't look like the same athlete anymore.
No, that the Tony Ferguson fight was embarrassing. Even though he choked out in the end, that was embarrassing.
That
And
was a weird fight. It was just like two old men that if you seen it at like a bar or something, everyone would have broke it up already. Like, no,
yeah,
guys, you guys are gonna hurt yourselves. Stop.
you're gonna throw out a hip,
Right.
but no one, neither of them seemed really interested in the fight at all. Well, because that whole week was messed up because of Hamzat. But
Right. Yeah, everyone got switched around because of the weight, right? Holland had to fight him or something.
yeah, Holland had to fight Shamaev,
Yeah, he had to move up.
and then somebody had to fight. Then Ferguson fought Diaz, and then
Mhm.
the Leech fought. Who did he fight? Daniel Rodriguez, maybe? Was it?
Yeah,
I think that's what it was.
the leech. Love the leech. All right, so who else?
Poirier,
We both picked Holland over there. So then we got Poirier versus St. Denis. I think St. Denis is getting the dub.
Saint Denis,
St. Denis?
Saint Denis, Denis, no S. There's no S on it.
Really? There's no S?
The S is silent, if I'm not mistaken.
St. Denis.
Yeah.
All right. So it's St. Denis. Okay. Because Chael says St. Denis, but he does say names wrong on purpose, but I don't think he was saying this one wrong on purpose.
He's a troll, biggest troll.
Like Will Fleury when he talks about Tommy Fury.
Or he'll
Will
say
Fleury.
with Makachev, he'll say Makalchev.
Makachev, yeah.
But
Say a bunch of names wrong.
he does.
Who's my all-time favorite was Prohaska. When Jerry Prohaska first came out, bruh, Pokrovsky. He just kept saying names. Like
The same video. He kept changing the name in the same video.
it was literally every like 20 seconds, he was like, man, this guy Prohaska, he's just so good. He's the champion. As he's spinning back elbows, Petrovsky, no one wants to fight him, blah, 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 blah. Paxi, everyone's scared of Paxi. You know, Potluck. I would definitely not want to fight Potluck. And he's just going into all these different, he didn't call him Potluck, but it was like all sorts of these P names that were ridiculous.
But with Poirier,
But all right, so we're both taking Saint Denis over Poirier.
what? I didn't say
Are
that.
you taking Poirier? You're taking Poirier?
Let's take Poirier because it's not a title fight. I'm gonna take Poirier because the last fight was the BMF title, even though it's not really a real belt. It was still the BMF. Yeah. I'm taking Poirier. I'll take Poirier this one.
That's interesting.
Because I think if they can get to the later rounds, if you make it to a third or fourth, I think Poirier is going to get him out of there in the third or fourth.
That was my only objection. Was that it's a 5-round fight?
It is a 5-round fight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say so third or fourth, I'll take Poirier to knock him.
And I've done my research. Saint Denis is 13-1. His only loss was about 9 fights ago to some random guy, but this random guy was like 28-10, something like that, some Brazilian dude. And I looked at all his matches, and they're all decisions. Every single fight that dude fought was a decision for like 20 fights in a row, including the one he beat Saint Denis. So I think if he's fighting a guy like Poirier, who's like a 5-round bro, like he actually might have a problem. I think you're making a great point. Third, fourth, and fifth round might be a problem for Saint Denis to where Poirier wants that. He thrives in the 4th and 5th round.
Yep.
So yeah, it's going to be tough. If Saint Denis doesn't put the pressure on early, who knows?
Because you see,
I don't know how his cardio is.
His last 5 fights, the fights ended the second round, the first round, the second round, and the last one was the first round. He slept Frivola with the
slept Frivola.
Bad. That one was bad. That was ugly.
Frivola's a bad dude too.
He is. He also got slept by Terrence McKinney in 7 seconds?
But McKinney got lucky. He's mad lanky.
No, that was crazy though. McKinney's fun as hell to watch.
Yeah, he is. He's either gonna lose hard or win hard. I like that.
Gotta respect it. He's another guy.
Gotta respect it.
He's gonna have a terrible record, but he's gonna be fun to watch every time. That's what we're
Yo,
talking.
Terrence
Lost
McKinney
in the
he's
UFC.
got a lot of J.R. Smith in him.
Yep. He's just like
This is
whatever.
highlight reels, high risk, high reward if it does hit, but it doesn't.
If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win.
Right. If you lose, you lose. You win, you win. That's
Is what.
him. And then there's a rematch for the belt, last fight of the night. Sugar versus Cheeto. Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Cheeto Vera. Marlon Cheeto Vera. Where are we going with this? What do you think's gonna happen?
I'm kind of up in the air. I don't know. I feel like they're only doing it because he's the only guy. Because Cheeto Vera is the only guy to beat O'Malley. I don't even think Vera is necessarily deserving of the title shot. But
Really?
because he's fifth, I think you could. I
He's
think
whooped everyone's he's chopped everyone down that's in front of him since.
no, he lost against who did he lose against to?
Who did Cheeto lose to?
He lost to Sanhagen. He got dominated.
What?
He got dominated by Sanhagen.
He did. It was cardio, but that's Sanhagen. That's a different fight. No, Sanhagen's a weirdo.
But I mean, I think Sanhagen should have gotten a title shot before him. I think Sanhagen's hurt though. I think he has an elbow injury, so that's probably why.
So that's why it was given to Cheeto.
Yeah, and then Marab also. Dana White hates Marab because he wouldn't fight Aljamain Sterling. But I think Marab's next for the title match. We got to see what happens in the Vera and O'Malley fight. But I think I'll take O'Malley in this.
You'll take O'Malley.
O'Malley, as
I
long
think
as
it makes sense. It truly does make sense to take O'Malley, but I don't know, man. Cheeto is a beast this whole time. He just looks a lot stronger too.
Yeah.
I don't know if he found some new roids or what, but he looked pretty strong.
But also, that's another thing. You got to see if O'Malley, what he can do if they make it to a fourth or fifth round. If he can stay there, because we know O'Malley doesn't have necessarily a great gas tank either. And I think Cheeto Vera is just the opposite. And I think Vera is fine if he fights all 5 rounds. I mean, all 5 rounds, all 25 minutes. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't think Cheeto cares one way or the other. I think O'Malley wants to get it done inside 2 rounds, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But
I guess I'm looking at who Cheeto fought on this way up. I mean, he beat Frankie Edgar, which you could beat Frankie Edgar. Like you could poke this dude in his head and he'll just get slept. Okay. He's just got nothing left.
Yeah, but he slept Dominic Cruz bad with that head kick.
He did. He slept Dominic Cruz with the head kick as well. He beat Rob Font in the decision. He beat Pedro Munoz in the decision. He beat the hell out of Pedro Munoz.
He beat the hell. Rob Font fight was bad. He had his face all mangled up. But I don't know. To me, it isn't really. I mean, it's a pretty good resume. But I don't know. I still think I'll take O'Malley.
I'm taking O'Malley too. You know why? Because before the Sean O'Malley fight, he lost to Song Yadong.
He did. Vera, right? Yeah, Vera lost
to Cheeto. Cheeto lost to Song Yadong and then beat O'Malley and then lost to Aldo.
Yeah. And he wouldn't.
And that was a long time ago.
Yep.
4 years ago?
That was COVID days. I think he lost in the. I think that fight Vera lost in the Apex to Yadong.
Well, yeah, I'm going O'Malley with you.
Yeah, so I'll take Almeida, Jan, Della Maddalena, Holland, Poirier, and O'Malley.
All right, now with the what is it, 300?
Yeah, 300.
300 is next. Tibera. Oh wait, that one's.
No, the fight. Yeah, that fight is until April 13th. UFC 300 is until April 13th.
Oh yeah, there's a minute until there's a fight. So what we got? Tuivasa versus Tibera. That'll be cool.
And there's a fight night on your birthday.
Oh, Brian Battle. He's did a co-main event. I like Brian Battle.
He's nice.
Yeah, he is. I liked him when he has longer hair, but it's all good.
But there's a fight night on your birthday. I think Amanda Ribas and Rose Namajunas, March 23rd.
Okay. Mir Chart versus Barberenas on the prelim for Tuivasa. That's funny. Barberena, I mean, he should win, but goddamn. How about this one? Yeah. So the one on my birthday, Nama Yunus. Oh, Edmund Shabazian's fighting. And there's someone named Cameron fighting, ironically enough, on my birthday.
Did that South African kid? I
That's who it is?
think I don't know how to say his last name. It starts with an S.
Cameron Salmon, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he's South African, like Dricus Du Plessis.
Oh my god, wow.
He's got some clean striking, but he always gets he's always be hitting people in the nuts and poking people in the eyes all the time.
Damn. Oh, Usman's brother's fighting too.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. He's fighting like low on the prelim though, really low.
The 300 card is crazy though.
Yeah. Chris Weidman is fighting Bruno Silva. What? Just why?
Why is Chris Weidman still fighting? He should have retired last fight after
Well, I will say
Tavares.
it's easy money. Let's just say that it's easy money.
Silva might sleep him though.
Silva's gonna sleep him. I'm saying it's easy
Oh,
money
okay.
for the better.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought Silva was. I didn't know we were on the same page.
Oh yeah. Silva's gonna destroy this guy. It's easy money for Bruno Silva,
But
but it's easy money for betters because I'm like, dude, Weidman should not be fighting anymore.
save those legs.
Vittori versus Brendan Allen. Yeah, I'm just looking at all these upcoming fights. Yeah, 300 seems to be like the good fight that we're all waiting for.
No Holly Holm main event though. I'm upset.
I know what happened with the Kayla Harrison fight.
No, they are fighting. They're fighting the early prelims.
Oh, I thought you said no Holly Holm.
No, I said no Holly Holm main event.
Oh, main event, yeah.
They got.
But it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be great fights from top to bottom. Bobby
Yeah.
Green, Jim Miller, two OGs. I love it. Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. That's all right. Yusuf and Diego Lopez. I fuck with Diego Lopez. That dude got hands and heart. Ever since his first fight in the UFC, I fuck with him heavy.
Yeah, he fights like this is his last fight every time.
Every time, bro. He goes out there and he's going 100. I love it. I love to watch him fight. Like
The Figgy and Garbrandt fight. That's
right.
crazy.
I mean, just put all your money that you have, every penny, every last dollar you have on Davidson Figueiredo.
I was gonna pick him too. Garbrandt and Figueiredo's actually at the right weight class now. So he doesn't
Right.
up with that weight cut.
Oh my God, he's literally gonna dismantle Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah,
It's gonna be sad.
and he's won his last few fights too.
Yeah, Garbrandt had a good knockout, I think, his last fight.
He did against Brian Kelleher.
Yeah, but I mean, he throws crazy in the phone booth. You know, he gets up close and just starts throwing crazy. Either you're gonna hit him or he's gonna hit you.
Yeah, I don't think you can play that game with Figueiredo.
Exactly. You can't play that game with Figueiredo. You can't play that game with barely any UFC fighters. And Cody Garbrandt won for a long time. He was just on the lucky end of it. But later in his career, he started getting on the unlucky end of it.
Right.
Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage. Honestly, I don't know too much about Cody Brundage. I can't really say I've watched like many fights of his.
He's won a few fights in a row, I think.
But I don't know who. Like, I don't remember seeing them. I could have maybe once, but I'm drawing a blank. Can't picture it. Calvin Kattar, Aljamain Sterling. I mean, that should be good for Aljo. This Jerry Prohaska Rakic fight. You know, Rakic is really good. And I thought he was going to be the champ at 205 one day before this kind of new wave of guys came in and everything. Before I thought Jamal Hill could have. I thought Rakic was the best guy in there.
And I think he tore his ACL against Jan Bohovic.
Yeah. And he tore it against Jan. And did he go up to heavyweight and fight once or something too?
I don't know. I think this is his first fight back, though.
Okay.
Fight back since he suffered that injury.
Maybe he used to fight heavyweight. I don't know. But he's looked incredible at 205. And I think I really don't know. Like, I don't know what to expect out of Jiri anymore. I really don't.
He's a wild card.
He's a wild card. And I think, as he gets older, his fight style might get slowed down a little bit and not be as effective and, like, so playful.
Right.
So I don't know what he's really going to go to. I'm going Rakic.
I'm taking Yuri. I like Yuri.
All right. What about this one? Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tazoukian.
That's a ridiculous question, Oliveira.
What? I'm taking Arman.
Easily. Oliveira's going to kill him. And he's going to
You never bet against an Armenian.
Second time. We're not worried about no Armenians.
You never bet against an Armenian. I'm telling you.
We're taking Olives.
All right, you're taking Charlie Olives, and I'm taking Arman. All right, so Gaethje versus Holloway. Who are you taking?
Such a horrible fight. It's such a horrible fight. Gaethje's going to kill him. Holloway should not be facing Gaethje.
Really?
Terrible idea by Holloway. That chin that he has, that solid chin he has, is gone. It's gone on April 13th. I don't know why he's doing this.
I love it. So 300, we are completely split on.
Yeah, because the 299 we're pretty, except for one fight I think we agreed on. All the other ones.
Well, I mean, we're definitely on the same page as Figueiredo, Bo Nickel, and Sterling. But with Rakic and Prohaska, I got Rakic, you got Prohaska. I'm picking Arman, you're picking Olives. I'm picking Max, you're picking Gaethje.
You're picking Max?
Yeah, I'm picking Max.
Wow.
So my reasoning is this for the belt?
It's for the BMF belt.
The BMF belt. So the idea of the title clause and everything else, since it is considered a belt, they're supposed to get part promotion if they defend a belt. That's part of the bylaws of the UFC. There's no way Gaethje's winning this belt and getting part of the promotion. He's not getting a percentage of pay-per-view for the victory, all that. It'll be too much. What I think's going to happen, if you really look at it, Max Holloway is 3 years younger, Gaethje's 35, Max is 32. And with Volkanovski losing, this kind of, I don't know. It helps Max in some weird way.
Yeah.
Because now it's not just like people don't think of Volk and people don't think of like whose ass he whooped now. People are worried about Topuria. Like people's focus shifts, everything shifts. And I think people are looking at Max in a different light and maybe even a worse light. But in my eyes, I think he'll be fine. And I think he'll be better off because he's going to be fine. Gaethje is not better than Volkanovski.
No, yeah, you're right with that. But I don't know.
And that's where I'm at with it is how cooked and crazy it sounds is Gaethje is not Volk. And I think Max is going to chew him up. I truly do. I think it's going to be, he's going to piece him up. And Gaethje might go 5 rounds, but it's going to be like 4 rounds to 5 max. And he's just going to piece him up. Gaethje's face is going to look crazy after. And that's just going to be what the fight is. Like it's probably not going to be a finish, but I'm taking Max.
Do you think his chin is going to hold up then?
His chin is going to hold up.
That infamous chin.
That infamous chin is going to hold up. Next is Wei Li versus Yan.
That's not even close either. It's not even close. It's
I'm
Zhang.
taking Wei Li because she was made in a lab.
No, it's not even close. Bet the house. We bet the house. Bet the apartment.
I'm betting the apartment.
Bet Sunny. Bet Sunny.
I'm not
Bet
betting Sunny, but I'll bet my lease.
the leads.
I'll bet the lease.
Yeah, I don't even think it's going to be close. I think she's just going to take her down and dominate her there, and just get her with a TKO or something.
Mm-hmm.
First 2 rounds. I don't think she has any chance.
All right, so now I agree. I think Wei Lee's just too fucking good.
Because I think Jan has good striking on the feet.
Mm-hmm.
Know if she can keep up with her when they get her on the ground. If she gets her on the ground, which I think she
Yeah.
will.
Once Wei Lee feels outmatched on the feet, I think she's just going to go to her next thing.
That's what she did with the Andrade fight. She did that with Andrade, and then she dominated her. She did that with Amanda Lemos too, because Lemos she got some good shots off her on the feet, and then she decided to down, and then she just dominated her there. So
yeah, Wei Lee's ego is good. Like she'll know if she's losing a fight, she'll switch up the tactics. She's not going to just stand and throw with you the whole time and force it and be like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to beat you like this. No, Wei Lee's smart. She'll go to the wrestling.
step with Joanna, you're in J check. In the first one, the first one was first one was the second one she slept her.
Yeah, second one she slept her. But that one with the war, I think she learned a lot of lessons that fight. But she won too. She
that's the other thing.
dominated. But last one, Pereira, Jamal Hill. Where are we at with it?
This one I actually got to think about. I like Alex. I like Alex in this.
Me too.
And I think Hill is a little too. I think he's going to be too aggressive, and I think Pereira is just going to take his time, and he's just going to get one of those shots off. Got him with the left hand once and just sleep him. So I'm going to take Pereira.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'm taking Pereira. He's going to win the fight over Jamal Hill. Also, he's coming off an Achilles tear.
Yep.
And I know how much. I've never torn my Achilles, but following basketball, and also Jamal Hill is a basketball player first. That's where he was a professional athlete before being an MMA fighter. He played college basketball. So I know, and he knows how much that thing really saps him of power, of burst, of speed, of anything.
Right.
Pereira is strong, is tough as nails. And he hasn't had an injury that made him stop working out. So he's just had this compounding grown man strength for all these years. No injury stopping him. He just keeps working out, keeps working at it. Jamal Hill has to stop working out for months and now come back and fight maybe one of the most feared human beings of all time.
Definitely. And
Dead
Pereira,
ass. You put Pereira in the 1500s, so he's the number one warrior they're gonna put. He's the general of the army. No one's fucking with Powhatan.
Real. And now he's got the right weight class too.
Yeah. And this is Jamal Hill isn't even really in shape necessarily.
He looks terrible sometimes.
Sometimes he doesn't even come in with pecs. He just has these moves. And it's come on, bro. What are we doing here? He's still built like a basketball player and not even a professional basketball player. He's built like somebody you see at FP when they take their shirt off.
He's got a huge gut too.
He's got a little bit of a gut. He's got these man pec, man boob type things. He's not built. I just don't see it. Powhatan is like a chiseled rock.
Yep. He looks
and you got Jamal Hill coming off injuries out of shape. It just is what it is. He already wasn't the best fighter. If Jamal Hill comes in without a torn Achilles and on his top, I'm still taking Pereira. So it's just easier for me when I know he's coming off an injury.
Yep. But I think
Jamal Hill's well-rounded. He really is. He's very skilled. He's very coordinated, which I probably attribute to some being a basketball player. I think he's got all the tools, and he also understands why he needs all the tools. He's played basketball. He knows he needs to play defense, he needs to play offense. He needs to have different tricks for different situations. You got to guard in the post differently than you guard on the perimeter. As funny as this sounds, it clicks in my head and why I've always rooted for Jamal Hill, but at the same time, I know versus the best fighter in the world, I'm not taking him versus the best fighter in the world, which is Poatan.
Yep. I agree.
He's got shit for everything. If you watch Jamal Hill fight, he's got moves for it all. He's got a deep bag. He really does. But it's just he's not there. This is like KD versus LeBron. Like when it really comes down to it, I'm leaning LeBron.
We're going with Braun every time.
I'm going with Braun.
Speaking of Braun,
$40K.
Hey, man, I don't think anyone's ever gonna touch that.
No,
I don't think anyone's ever gonna. Because they were showing
maybe Luka or Wemby.
That's what they showed on ESPN. They had Luka, they had Luka, Wemby, and somebody else. And Wemby would have to average like 20 something, and he'd have to play all 82 games for the next 20 plus years, and he'd be there. So it'd be like in 2046 or 2047, and then Luka would have to average like 27 or 28 for however many years. And Luka already said he doesn't want to play that long. I don't want to play as long as LeBron. So I don't see him getting it. I don't know. I guess Durant's probably the closest one that's still an active player. I don't see him getting it because he misses a lot of games too. I don't really see anybody else right now. When you look at some of the top active scorers like Harden or Westbrook, they're definitely not going to get it.
No.
It's pretty amazing what he's been able to do and what he's still doing.
Like Giannis will be able to crack into it, but even then, he wasn't scoring high enough early.
That's true. His first 2 or 3 seasons, he wasn't really doing much.
Yeah, so you have to come into the league at 18, by LeBron's math. You have to come into the league at 18 and play for 20 years and average 25 plus. That's a tall task.
Yep.
That's a really tall task. So, obviously MJ didn't do that. MJ came into the league after college. What was he, 22 coming into the league?
Yeah, he went to North Carolina for 2 years? Was it 2 years, I think?
I think 3.
3 years. Yeah, so he didn't even
maybe 2, maybe 3. But he was in college. I think he came into the league at 22. So you got some years shaved off there. He also broke his foot his second year in the league, which he played 7 games, I think, which isn't really a season. So take that off. That's not a real season he played. Then he retired for 2 years. He came back at the end of a season, basically for the playoffs, which barely even counts as a season.
Yeah.
He played 12 years.
Yeah.
And then he played as the GM of the Wizards.
He did. And he was still averaging 20, but
still averaging 20 as the GM, and he still had responsibilities to do. I don't know. The LeBron Jordan argument is very hard, but all I know is peak, I'm taking Jordan.
Probably.
And also as just who are we saying it as a perspective of? A coach, a GM, a owner? Because LeBron will leave you.
He will. He'll fire your
Jordan
coach.
Never left by force or by his own volition. He retired, and then the Bulls didn't want to bring him back.
He'll get your coach fired, too.
LeBron will get your coach fired. He will get everyone traded. He will get your kid put to a new school. That's what LeBron will do. He'll get all your kid has all his friends. They're not going to be friends anymore because he's going to send you to Minnesota.
They're going to send you to Minnesota. Crazy.
So, I don't know. Jordan he's got some good things on his side. You can't be too mad at him.
Yeah.
He punched Steve Kerr in the face. What did it do? It made him better.
They kept winning rings.
Would Steve Kerr be the man he is today if he didn't get punched in the face by Jordan, told to toughen up?
Who has LeBron punched? Nobody.
Nobody. I haven't heard LeBron punch one person yet.
He's such a terrible teammate.
He is. He's a terrible teammate. Draymond Green, how many rings does he got? 4.
How many
his teammates in the face? How much LeBron got? 4.
The
same amount. So clearly LeBron's at least punched somebody, but we just don't know who.
Never been caught on film. Draymond has committed many acts of violence.
Maybe he whooped Delonte West's ass, and that's why he's like that.
So yeah, I would respect him for that though. We got to see the video. No
Right?
tape, no
So,
tape, no proof.
you dating my mom, brother? What? Dating my mom? You got to see him in the locker room. He said, I got the mitts. We'll put the gloves on. Run me to 30.
That's a first round KO.
First round. They're not in the same weight class.
That's the way it is. That's what Delonte West gets. He has to be a handicap for that.
All right. But that's why Jamal Hill's ready. Hold up. My take might have just developed.
Up.
In basketball, you have to be able to guard 1 through 5. Mm-hmm. Jamal Hill is fighting a guy who's changed weight classes multiple times. He could fight him at 185. He'd fight him at 205. He'll fight Poatan at 225. If Jamal Hill is a stretch big and switchable, then he wins.
You might have to go with Jamal Hill now.
I might have to go Jamal Hill because he's a stretch 4.
Just off of that breakdown, you have to go with Jamal Hill. You can't just say that and not go with Jamal Hill. See, I didn't come up with that.
Right. Nah, I'm sticking with Jamal Hill now. Jamal Hill will get the dub, and he's gonna break the whole 3 streak. Didn't what's his name? Poatan said he was doing at 300, right?
Yeah, he wanted to fight. He wanted
heavyweight.
Yeah, he wanted
the heavyweight.
There was rumors about him and Aspinall for UFC 300, so he could win 3 belts.
Also, if he's calling out heavyweights, that means he's not training hard and making weight for 205. So he's going to be out of shape and drained for Jamal Hill to clutch it.
Okay. There you go.
Jamal Hill in the clutch. That's what I'm taking.
Got your answer now.
Yep. 300. Jamal Hill.
All right. You say so. You bet Sonny on it.
I bet the lease. I didn't bet Sonny.
Never.
Sonny just won't have a home.
He'll still have you.
He'll still have me though.
Have you on the streets?
But on the streets. All right. So I think that's it for 300. That's the main card. We actually over talked about UFC today, but I don't care. It was pretty good. We needed a UFC pod anyway, so we jumped into it. Other than that, I did want to mention, while we're still on like Eastern European white guys, since we're talking about the UFC, Gilbert Arenas chimed in on why there's no defense in the NBA. And he said it's because the league is filled with European white guys who don't play defense.
Kind of partially true, though.
It is a little bit. When you think about it, if we could just break it down, I will say Porzingis, D's up for being 7'3". He's not Drew Holiday on the perimeter. No one has ever thought of him. He's never claimed to be Gary Payton, you know?
Right.
But for 7'3", he's pretty damn good in the paint.
He is.
But who is a bad defender from Europe that he's talking about? Because Goran Dragic, I think, was decent.
Luka, right?
Is he talking about Luka? Like, is that the only guy, like, you're really implying that didn't play defense? Dirk wasn't the best defender, but that was in a super physical league where he was just getting pushed more than, like, less blown by in lazy defense. I feel like he was getting, like, manhandled a little bit.
Yeah, Luka might be one of the worst defenders in the NBA. And I don't think Jokic.
Can you say all European players are bad just because this one guy, you know? Can I say all European players can't shoot because Zubac can't shoot threes?
No, because we already talked about who do we just talk about? Porzingis.
Well,
Porzingis, we know.
What?
We're talking about Europeans that can't defend. Porzingis can definitely defend.
He could definitely defend. That's what I'm saying. So, like, who is he really talking about? Because he's saying the defense is poor because of the influx of Europeans in the league.
Yeah, I'm saying.
And he's saying they're only offensive-based players.
Yeah, that's probably a shot at Luka. I don't know. Jokic doesn't really play a lot of defense. He's not a. He's not. I don't know if I don't know. He's not as bad on defense as Luka is, though.
Yeah, he's not as bad as on defense as he is.
But
He's not nimble-footed. He's a little heavier, but he's also used that to his advantage, I guess, in many different ways. You know, like if Gilbert Arenas actually had to be a big and hold the seal against Jokic on defense, like think about that. If Gilbert Arenas had to get a post pass, posting up Jokic, literally posting up Jokic, do you think he'd say this guy can't defend? No.
no, it would be a long night for him.
Jokic would literally push him off the block and get him out of the paint. Like it would be a joke. So there is like a level to this where you got to just take it with a grain of salt. It is Gilbert Arenas. He just be talking shit. And as you told me pre pod,
He doesn't watch the game.
Gilbert Arenas doesn't watch games.
Games.
He doesn't watch games. He's admitted it. He doesn't really watch games. So you got a guy who's kind of talking off of like nothing almost.
Right.
You know, he definitely has made it to the league before. He's probably seen some guys who can't play defense before who are more offensively minded. But to say that that is today and to say that's only what these players are is crazy because Denny Avdija came from Europe and he plays great defense. He rebounds. He plays hard.
He's probably the best rebounder on the Wizards, to be honest.
He's the best rebounder on the Wizards. I agree. He's the best rebounder on the Wizards. He gets like down and dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a good player. I like him. I like Denny.
Yeah.
Who's not a good defender? Who else?
Let's see. I gotta find the.
How about the Bogdanoviches? They don't really defend like that. So I mean, like
Yeah.
you could find spots where it's true, but at the same time, nobody in the league can guard Tatum. You expect Bojan to?
Nikola Vucevic.
You know, at the wing.
Yeah.
Oh, Vucevic. Yeah, Vucevic. Oh my God, no.
So there's some truth to it. Bojan Bogdanovic, Nikola Vucevic, Luka Doncic.
Yeah, Bogdanoviches are wings. I'd say they don't defend. Vooch is probably pure offense, no defense. He is actually one of those guys that fits that mold. I have thought Luka's played a little more defense than he has lately. And also, as I'm saying, he's not a wing or a guard. If you're a big and you don't play defense, there you go. But there's no way Luka can get away with actually not playing no defense, being a wing or a guard. And it's harder. Nobody guards these guys. Who guards Paul George? Name me three guys. Name me three guys that shut down Paul George.
Can't.
No, exactly. And he's not even a top 5 wing. Like, Kawhi's better than him. Kevin Durant, Giannis, Tatum.
I'm trying to see.
Siakam, arguably.
Yeah.
You know, like, there are so many other guys. And it's like, none of these guys can guard each other. They can't. Like, Siakam can't guard Tatum. Siakam can't guard Giannis. Giannis can't guard Tatum. Tatum can't guard Giannis. So it's really hard to say that these guys don't play defense when, in fact, it's just offense is so much better than anything right now. There's no way to stop these guys. The rules are designed to stop these guys.
I was just gonna say it's harder to defend now in today's NBA too. So
yeah, it's harder to defend now than ever. So it's hard to really say that, you know, these guys aren't good defenders necessarily. There are lazy defenders. Vooch, for one instance. I think Luka is a lazy defender at times. I do think all these guys can defend if they wanted to. Some will be slightly better than others. Some will have better techniques and tendencies. But for the most part, the offense is just way too skilled.
Right.
Yeah, the offense is just way too skilled. And I don't think it's just there's not going to be these all-world defenders everywhere because then they would find offensive guys to beat them.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Who else? I'm trying to think of bad defenders in the league that are European. Bertans.
Yeah, Bertans. Yep.
Cantor's out of the league.
Freedom.
Yeah, Freedom. Enes Freedom. He's out of the league.
What's Alperen Şengün?
Şengün's not a good defender.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I don't know, something with him.
Baby Jokic.
Yeah, but it's just the way he moves. There's something with him. I can't figure it out.
Slow motion.
Yeah, very slow motion. Like he needs to like, I don't know. Something on him is like, I don't know. I think he's too loose. I seen him doing splits and stuff. He needs to do more explosive workouts. He's working out like he's Tom Brady. Like he does all these stretching, lengthening routines. He actually got taller over the past 2 years since he got drafted. He's like 6'10", 6'11" now. I think he was 6'9" coming into it.
Right.
But yeah, he needs just a little bit more pop, a little more something. He's got to do those not the deadlifts, the ones that we have for football. We had the plates on each side, and you hold it here. I forget what they're called. It's kind of like a deadlift. I forget exactly what it's called. But yeah, he needs to do something because those things work your hips and they work you for football to get that extra pop, that extra burst in you. But yeah, he needs some of that. He just looks like really like flowy, and he's just like he just moves like that. Like I can't explain it, but it's just he moves very exaggerated and like slow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe Arenas is right. Maybe he's got a point
In some cases.
in some cases. But then you have guys like Andre Karolinko, who are probably one of the best shot blockers ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like truly, at his size, at everything he could do, steals and blocks were his thing, and that was the best ever. He was a Russian guy. So you got an Eastern European guy I'd put over anybody as a defender. I'd be more afraid of him guarding me than maybe even Kawhi. Like they're neck and neck.
High praise.
Because Karolinko, he could slide the feet. He could do everything, bro. Karolinko was the man. The real AK-47, man. Like, what was better than a Russian guy coming over and his initials are AK and he picks number 47 on purpose, obviously.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing, but it's like Andre Karolinko, AK-47, and he's just this like 3-and-D guy. He was awesome. He really was. He was so dope, like on another level. In his prime. That was like the earliest I can remember basketball is AK-47's prime, which is like Paul Pierce's prime, KG coming over. I do remember KG before he came to the Celtics. So that's like the first image of the league I really have. AI in his prime. T-Mac killing it, especially on the Rockets. I remember Rockets T-Mac more than I remember Magic T-Mac.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, man, that was a good time. Well, who else? Who else in the league? Franz Wagner plays a little defense. He's too big for his size, for his position, so I understand why he's a little slow. He's a 6'10" small forward.
I think his brother might be a better defender.
Mo Wagner gets down and dirty, but it all depends. Where are they guarding? Are you saying Mo Wagner can't guard Dame Lillard?
Right.
Like what are we saying? Like when we say someone's a bad defender, what are we saying? Because Mo Wagner matched up against another big, he's going to play him hard. He's going to box out off ball. He's always going to keep a body on you. He tries hard.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Some of this bad defender stuff is nonsense. But then there are guys like Bertans who don't guard a damn, who don't do anything, who are not physical at all, and don't have the physical tools. There's a point of not being physical, but, you could have the physical tools or vice versa. Like Javon Carter, really physical, doesn't have the physical tools. 6'1", super skinny. But he's rough. I don't know. What do we got next? What's next on the docket? How did you like that Celtics-Mavs matchup? It ended up being a blowout late in the game, but I thought the first half was tight.
I love the second half. I thought they started to move the ball around a lot more in the second half, and everybody got more involved. They were getting in the first half. They were getting fried with the pick and roll with Doncic and Lively, Doncic and Washington. They had no answer for that pick and roll. But I thought in the second half they started to buckle down defensively, especially in that fourth quarter, and slow the other Mavericks down. And then everyone just got going. Tatum didn't score in the first quarter. Then after that, he was great. And really, everyone else played well. Jaylen Brown shot the ball well. Porzingis shot the ball well. And they shot, what did they shoot here? They shot 55.3% from the field, and they had 33 assists on 52 made field goals. That's great. And they shot on the 3-point line, didn't miss a free
Tatum
throw.
lit it up late. He
Yep,
had some stuff. He was like working off the pivot. Now where was he? He kept it on the right side, and he was doing this with the left. He goes so wide with his splits. I know he's 6'10" and he's got long legs and stuff, but I
yep,
mean his splits look crazy long.
they do.
And he
He's
was just jab stepping, pulled up, knocked it down, pulled up from like the left wing over PJ Washington. That was pretty solid.
But I
Yeah,
just
Tatum was lighting it up the second half. But the first half, it was Luka torching Drew Holiday.
he was. Another thing
He
about
was giving him the business. It
Yep.
was crazy. First play of the game, he gave him the business. He started the game off. I believe he scored on Drew and just kept taking it to him.
it was crazy how aggressive Holiday was in the first quarter too, shooting the ball.
Oh, yeah.
He scored most of his points, I think, in the first quarter. It was so weird to see him so aggressive like that in the first quarter.
Well, that's what Drew does. You know, if they were like, hey, you know, they give him a nudge before the game and go, hey, buddy, they're slamming your under for the first half.
Yep.
And they go, oh, you want me to go over? All right.
There was a certain line he hit in just the first quarter, and he did
The
that.
first quarter line, he had to hit.
Yeah, he was so aggressive in that first quarter. It was nuts.
He had to. He watches the lines. But yeah, Luka was doing him dirty though. Like just always, every single thing Drew Holiday tried to do. Tried to maybe guard him off to the side a little. Tried to guard him straight up. Guard him baseline. Guard like push him sideline. Push him middle. Like they tried everything on Luka. It didn't work. Luka's got 5 moves. For every move that you show him, he's got 5 different counters. And he's just choosing which one to do at this point. Like which one to have fun with. Like, oh, I'll do that one. I'll go between the legs. I'll do something else. Like
You just speed him up. He's gonna go at his own. You can't speed him up. You can't slow him down. It's crazy.
you can't speed him up or slow him down. He just goes however he wants to go. And Drew was just a victim out there.
Yep.
I think
Somebody had to do
Drew
it.
should never be the best, should be the defender on these guys. Because the more I think about it, as I was saying, who could guard Tatum that's a wing? Nobody really. There's a couple guys that you could throw out there, but the refs don't blow the whistle, and the coaches aren't worried about them getting 6 fouls anyway. They don't give a shit.
Mhm.
But if Giannis fouls out, that's a problem because he can't do it on offense now. So that's why he's not guarding the Tatums, because it'd be useless. You might as well find another 6'10" guy to guard him because Tatum's going to do him. And that's how I feel with Luka. And maybe even what happened with Jimmy Butler last year with Drew Holiday. Put anyone on him, just make sure Drew stops the other guy.
Yeah.
Stop Kyrie. You can't stop Luka. Kyrie's 6'1", and he's had some knee issues. Like, Drew, you're 6'4". Shut down Kyrie. We're gonna throw Sam Hauser on Luka and just be a body. We're not gonna shut down Luka because he's giving you 40 regardless, bro. He's averaging 36 points. Like he is giving you 40 regardless if you put Drew Holiday on him or not.
He might get 60 if Hauser's guarding him though.
He might.
He might.
And at that point, let him get 60 and see if you can stop the other guys. I just think throwing your best guy at Luka now is kind of foolish. He's just rounded into some form that he's too good.
I think Luka also gasses out in the second half too. He gets tired in the second half. You see a lot of those shots in the second half, they're short. He's always front rimming shots in the second half because he's tired.
It's a good observation.
I've noticed.
He does. And he gets real flush in the face.
And then he starts he's crying to the officials all game.
Yeah, all game.
Doesn't matter. First half, second half, overtime, whatever. But I like what I saw from the Celtics, especially in that second half on Friday night. But the only thing I worry about is their depth with the bench. I don't really think they have a whole lot off the bench. Scoring wise, they don't really have a true wing to come off the bench. I like obviously what Horford provides. And he really he gets his money's worth in the playoffs. I mean, that's when you really see him flourish, is in the postseason. But the other guys that they play in Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard, I just don't know what they're gonna do defensively. when it comes playoff time, when you have to, really defend those top guys in the Eastern Conference. That's my only problem right there, because the starting five, the Celtics might have one of the best, if not the best, starting five in the NBA. But when those guys are out, or those guys get in foul trouble or something, or somebody gets injured, who's going to step up off the Celtics bench? That's my only problem with the team. I don't think they have much depth. I like the Tillman addition too. I like Xavier Tillman, but again, I wish they had a wing, specifically a wing that can defend too.
You're not trusting Hauser? I'm really offended by this. This is sad.
Hauser defensively, and I don't really know if, other than catch and shoot threes, I don't know what else Hauser is going to do.
Yeah,
can't really create his own bucket.
No.
Pritchard can create his own bucket. He's good enough offensively to stay on the court, but defensively he's going to get fried.
Yeah.
So that's my only question when it comes playoff time. And I guess the lineups do get smaller as each series goes on and each game goes on too. Yeah, that's my only question with the team. But other than that, they look pretty scary right now. And they're on some crazy. What have they won? 10 straight now, I think.
Yeah.
They play the Warriors. Today. That should be an interesting matchup.
Yep. Got a former finals matchup in the Warriors. Should be good. I think Celtics should sweep the floor with them though.
And that was one of the worst finals performances ever by a superstar from Tatum. Talk about not showing up.
Not showing up. JB was a superstar, MVP for me.
In the fourth quarter, talk about not showing up from Tatum. Golly.
Yeah, Tatum definitely choked that series away. But I think it would be different this time around. Like if they played each other in a 7-game series right now, Celtics would win. But it's because of everything else.
And the Warriors don't have Wiggins. He's away.
Yeah, they don't have Wiggins, and they have Clay coming off the bench still.
And they lost Poole. And Poole is really important in that series and in that playoff, in that championship run.
Because he carved the defense up.
Yep.
He did something that the defense wasn't designed to stop. It was made to stop this team defense that the Warriors run. They run very team offense. They pass the ball a lot. It's a lot of motion. But then once all the assignments are all there, then Jordan Poole does a little double move, and then he's going a different direction. Defense isn't shifted that way. It got ugly.
Yeah. So I think the Celtics would have a much better chance now. So that should be a pretty good matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, without Poole there breaking plays off, I think the Warriors would lose in 5.
Yeah.
And that's with the NBA's help.
Yeah.
That's with the Curry Vegas whistle.
Yeah, the NBA is like, you get one game. We'll win you one game. That's it.
Well, we got one in us. You guys got to do the rest.
Yeah, game 6. I don't think so, pal.
But yeah, but they did it that first time though.
They did.
What else? Was Warriors Celtics tonight. There's Cavs Knicks, which is pretty cool playoff matchup, which I think would kind of be a joke now. If you have the Knicks at full strength, the Knicks are going to mop them up in the playoffs. But right now it might be a little different because there's no Randall.
Or Anunoby.
Correct. So
could be back too, playoff time.
So the Cavs should win this today, but I don't think it'll be a glimpse into the playoffs. That's not how it should be.
But last year I saw the Cavs winning, and I was completely wrong on that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Cavs would do a lot better against the Knicks, and I was way off on my prediction there.
Yeah. And then Thunder Suns is another one that's today.
Be a good matchup.
All right. So, yeah, that'll be a good matchup. I wonder what's going to happen in the playoffs with them. Obviously, the Thunder I think the Thunder are going to be one of those teams that make it to the Western Conference Finals. I say that because there are these flukes that happen. You know, the Luka making it to the Western Conference Finals a few years back, the Hawks making it a few finals back. I think, and they're even better than them. They're primed for that run this year. The too early run, but it might end up just being This is their first run of letting everyone know this is their league now. I think it could be. Chet's a little skinny. He's got some years to get better.
He
But the rest of the team looks ready.
got cooked by Wemby the other night.
He did.
That was bad. That fourth quarter, Wemby stretched for like a minute and a half or something. He was blocking his shot. He was hitting threes.
Hit three on him, blocked his shot.
He made him.
I think Chet did good that game overall, stat wise. He still had like 20, right?
He did. I think he had 23, 7, and 5. But then you look at
23, 7, and 5. He still did well. It's not like he got locked up or shut down, but there were some moments that were like defining. Where they're like, yeah, Wemby's
levels.
Wemby's the better player.
And you saw Wemby running away with the Rookie of the Year trophy too.
Right. As Chet was on the ground.
As Chet was on the ground.
That was rough. That was rough to see.
But the Thunder, I don't know if they have enough experience. I don't know. Like, they have a really good team. I just don't know if they can beat these other teams that have experience, like the Lakers or the Clippers or the Nuggets too. Like, I don't know if they can beat any of those teams. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I can see them making it to the Western Conference Finals this year, but I think they're certainly on their way.
I can see that. So, one last game today. Clips Wolves could be another, big playoff matchup in the West. We just talked about Thunder Sun, but Clippers Wolves, that's big time. And they've also faced each other in the past. Everyone always knows they didn't face each other in the past, but there is a history with Gobert and the Clippers. Terrence Mann notoriously got thrown at the 5 and had to guard Gobert for a series. And if anything, it was Gobert trying to guard Mann, and he couldn't. He couldn't stretch out to the 3. He couldn't guard him. I think he dropped 38 on him in the playoffs one game and completely flipped the series. So the Clippers have, the kryptonite to Rudy Gobert-based defense. What's going to happen in the playoffs when they really got to execute it? That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, that's an interesting matchup. I'll probably take and you saw Westbrook's out for probably the rest of the regular season with that broken hand. Yep. They got stepped up. Bones Highland's probably going to get more minutes. Terrence probably going to play more. I don't know. I just don't trust the Timberwolves. I just don't trust the Timberwolves, and I just like the Clippers now. And I think those guys have kind of figured out their roles. I think they figured out that Kawhi's the number 1, and then Paul George can have his games when he goes off. I feel like James Harden knows his role. I think he understands that he's not the number 1 or the number 2, and he has other guys that he can pass to, and George and Kawhi. So I think they finally figured it out. So I probably take the Clippers.
I'm taking Clippers as well. I think Clippers are just too damn good. Wings are the best players in the league. They got a lot of bigs, but I'm taking wings over bigs.
Right.
That's the way I feel about it. Wings give you the best of both worlds. What else? It's been a week without Cam Thomas. I don't know how I survived.
Right.
But the Nets are 3-4 with the new lineup. And they're having Schroeder. He's doing well. Granted, they got 2 of those wins on the very easy Hawks without Trae Young because he's out with pinky surgery. Did you see the picture he posted on his deathbed?
Yeah, I thought he was on his last legs there. It looked bad.
It looked real bad for pinky surgery.
Yep. Jesus, that must have been. They must have had some complications. They must have had to amputate a finger or something.
It looked like his pinky was stuck in his ass the way he was laying there. I don't know what was happening, why he was laid out dead.
Yeah, in that dark, desolate room.
That picture was really dark. Like, it makes you worry for him.
Yep.
But then you're like, oh, yeah, it's pinky surgery. He'll be fine. So they faced the Hawks without their best player, 2 games, and they beat them 2 times. I don't think there's too much to it, though. It's still a win, and the Nets are still inching towards a play-in game, and I would love to see Cam Thomas be healthy and back for the play-in. So he's going to be back a long time before that. The one worry I have is him not qualifying for Most Improved Player of the Year.
That's true.
65 games. and he already missed 8 with a sprained ankle the first time when he rolled it on PJ Tucker when PJ Tucker went under him and did like the Zaza move.
Yep.
Where he stuck his foot out on purpose and Cam Thomas rolled his ankle. It was called a technical and everything. It was fucked up. It was a dirty play. And so since then, he hasn't been out. Then he hurt his ankle the other night against Memphis in the fourth against G League teams. So, maybe that's part of it too. You got these rambunctious G Leaguers whipping around and Cam Thomas rolls his shit, but it is what it is.
Speaking of MIP players too, is Scotty Barnes. He's going to be out of the running too because he has a fracture.
He broke his hand right now. I looked at the race and it's Tyrese Maxey is in first. Yeah, it's really weird.
I had the list somewhere because I wrote it down. I had Scotty Barnes, Cam Thomas. Let me go get the list.
Go get the list.
I wrote it down. I wrote down like 3 or 4 players.
But ESPN bets had, I think it was Tyrese Maxey, and then it was another player. And I'm just like, bro, and I didn't even see Cam Thomas as a betting list anymore as of yesterday. They either took him off or whatever. But like Jabari Smith was on it, and I'm like, bro, like I had him early in the season too. I thought it could be Jabari Smith or Cam Thomas, but like if you still are voting Jabari Smith, that means you haven't watched since before the season started.
Yeah, because
he hasn't made statistical jumps. He really hasn't done too much. His game hasn't improved much either.
So I had the let me see. So the 4 guys that I wrote down in depth when I talked about their points per game, all their rebounds and shooting percentages, I had Kobe White. Kobe White was the first name I wrote. I didn't necessarily have it in order. These were just the first guys I thought of. I was just looking at NBA teams, and then if, it rung a bell, then I wrote it down. So I had Kobe White as one of my options. I had Jalen Johnson. I wrote him down. And then I had Cam Thomas and Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
So I never really
list. I think Kobe White, Jalen Johnson, and Cam Thomas probably are the best 3 options.
And then I also wrote down Denny Avdia because he's improved on his numbers this season. I had Jonathan Kuminga.
Kuminga definitely too. Yeah, that's the thing. Like this list has all these guys, and it leaves off Cam Thomas. I'm like, he's made a 11-point jump.
Yeah, it made no sense. And then
crazy to not have him listed. But maybe it's just because he not broke his ankle, he sprained his ankle, and they don't know when he's returning, so they took him off. I'm not too sure what it is. We'll have to see when he comes back. But, yeah, if he does 65 games or more, I don't see how you could say he's not the most improved if he's got 11 points plus what he's averaged the last year. Maxey's made improvements, but it's like we knew Maxey was good last year.
Yeah, he was already averaging 20. These guys have gone way up.
He was in the MIP vote last year. Why is he the leading guy this year? That doesn't make any sense to me. Kobe White, big time. He took a big time jump. His handle improved. His shot improved. My trust in him, he's not even for my team, but watching Kobe White play, like, I don't think he's going to do some crazy shit next. I actually think he's going to make the best decision possible. So I think Kobe White and then Cam Thomas in second or vice versa. They're really close. Cam Thomas has had his minutes played with the whole time, his spot on the roster, where he ranks in importance, which option he is on the offense. Kobe White's been dealing with the same thing all year. Right. Kobe White's not getting pulled out of games and all this other stuff and put back to the bench and then brought back to the starting lineup because they realized the bench sucked. The starting lineup gets worse without him in it. So we've seen all these things happen already. The Nets were 2-17 without Cam Thomas. Now they're 3-4 without Cam Thomas. So they're 5-18 with him not in the starting line. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're 3 out of the last 4, but 2 out of the last 17 prior to that. So
look at their strength of schedule.
And the strength of schedule. They're facing starless teams and all that other stuff while you still have your star, Mikal Bridges, and then you give him 35 shots a night and he scores 38 points. And it's like,
Yeah, you gotta look at the whole picture.
You got to look at the whole picture, what's actually happening. And so that's how I feel. It's a week without Cam Thomas. Don't get too gassed up about it, but the people who drive narratives will. And they won't point out the fact that they were 2-17 prior to him getting hurt without Cam Thomas in the starting lineup. But this is just what it is, and we have these numbers. Nets 3-4 over the past week. Good for them. We
Those were
always
all.
follow the Nets. We have Nets watch. We have one
Those were
last thing, and I really want to talk about. What do you want to say about it?
all, I'm just saying those were two important wins over the Hawks, whether or not they had Cam Thomas or whether or not the Hawks had Trae Young, because now they're 2 full games back of a 10th seed, so they're
Yes.
able to get a little bit closer to a potential play-in spot.
Right. They would own tiebreakers, all sorts of things.
Yep. So that's why it was important that
Because
they
even
got.
the games, there was a game earlier this year, it was Hawks versus Nets, and man, it was buzzer beater after buzzer beater. There was like 30 seconds left. Trae Young hits like a game winner basically, and then 23 seconds left. Bridges goes down. He hits a game winner. And it was just back and forth. It was a crazy game. It really was. But yeah, Nets could make a play in. Could be making it interesting. Last note that I have is fast break.
Yep.
Let's jump in the fast break real quick. Present. I'll share my screen right here. So,
Can you zoom a little bit?
yeah, I'll zoom in a little bit. So tonight, it is pick 5 players who combine for at least 50 rebounds. So this is who I have today is Mobley, Nurk, Achua, Allen, Jakob. But we could check it out and see who we could maybe swap it for. Do I swap a Gobert? But I only have a common Gobert, and I like him on blocks nights. Same with Wemby. He's a block night guy for me.
And those other guys are not shot blockers like Gobert either.
Correct.
So you have Allen, not a big shot. Nurkic. Mobley can block shots. He's probably the best shot blocker on there.
Yeah.
I like that 5 though.
You like this 5? All right, because there still is potentially Zubac.
Yeah,
and Zubac, I think, would do decent against Minnesota because they're so big.
Right. Who would you replace? Who would you replace him with? Maybe one of the Cavaliers. Maybe replace him with
Where's Pirtle?
With Allen.
Allen's just so good at grabbing boards, man.
Who's the better rebounder though, Mobley or Allen? Let me see.
Allen. I would say Allen. I like Allen better.
So Allen averages. Oh, he probably averages more. Yeah, 10.5. Mobley averages.
But they might both. They could both get 10 rebounds today. It's not like they steal each other's rebounds. They both put up numbers every time.
Yeah, Allen's at 10.5. Mobley's at 10.3.
But that's also with so maybe Mobley is the better rebounder because Allen was getting 20 rebound games when Mobley was out, and he's still only averaging 10. So that means when Mobley is in, he gets less.
But also, Mobley is a better shot blocker.
Yeah, true.
I think
I'm going to try to put in Zubac. I'm going to check the injury status.
He's quite.
Where are we? LA Clippers. But we got to see why he's questionable. Illness. Oh. So is this like a plum dog situation? Like what? I wish I had Nick Richards, but even it looks like he is questionable.
I got him in fantasy.
There's Hartenstein. I don't own a Hartenstein though.
But he hasn't really been doing as well. Like Achua has kind of taken his minutes.
Right.
Achua's been more of an impactful player than he has, and a better rebounder too. He's been killing it on the offensive glass.
Oh wait, is Porzingis going to be out today?
He's not that great of a rebounder though.
Yeah, but it's a back-to-back. That's what I'm saying. So I'd pick Horford.
I don't know if Porzingis is supposed to be out. I think he's missed a lot of back-to-backs though, I will say.
Man, I don't know who to take here, but I'm trusting Achua here.
Yeah, I like the Achua pick.
I like Pirtle because he I don't know. I just think they're gonna do good today.
Scotty Barnes is out too, so
Right, Scotty Barnes is out. He's a big time rebounder, and also they're facing the Hornets, right?
yeah, so that should be
And Mark Williams is out, and also Nick Richards might be out too. If we
yeah.
check
So
here, look, Nick Richards.
yeah, all you have to worry about is maybe Nick Richards. That's it.
Right. So he should beast on the boards.
You would think.
Right, you would think.
So who are you gonna go with?
Should I just go with Wemby? Or should I save Wemby for a block night?
No, definitely save him for blocks.
Save Wemby for blocks? Okay.
Save him for blocks. So you have Nurkic.
All right, I'm just going to do Allen.
All right.
I'm going to leave it like this. All right. So from there, we could jump to tomorrow. This one is a clean slate. I haven't set a lineup for it. So it's 5 players who will make 15 threes together combined. So
Okay.
I used Simons, and he had 7 points, bro, the other night. I was so mad. It was opening night. All right. For threes,
D'Angelo Russell.
I'm down to throw D'Angelo Russell in there just because. Bridges for sure, because Cam Thomas is out.
Yeah.
Paul George because he's Carmelo Anthony's son's GOAT.
I like Markkanen.
You like Markkanen here? Okay, I'll take Markkanen. And then my last one for 3, I could use Beasley here because if I use Lillard, Lillard could be used other nights for good things.
And
but
he's
for threes, Beasley is a specialist.
Yeah, and Lillard's also been horrible from 3 this year.
Right, other than the 3-point competition.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's still other moves like there's Kuzma will pop it.
Broad kid's out.
You know what sucks is the fact that this is probably the night Simons goes off.
You would think. It would make sense.
Because Jeremy Grant is even hurt.
Who are they playing?
Left Memphis did not return. Everyone keeps getting hurt in Memphis. Cam Thomas and Grant. What the hell are they doing?
John Morant's out there shooting people. That's what he's doing.
Knee tendonitis reevaluated in 2 weeks. Right, he's sniping.
Making plays on and off the court.
Dort's shooting incredible. He's shooting like 50% from 3 damn near. No, like 39. But
he said damn near. He said 50%. Damn near 50%.
But 39 is really good at what he shoots at.
That's above league average.
Yeah, there is someone shooting like 48% right now, and it's
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen, yeah, it's insane.
He's been horrible the last 2 nights. He was 2 of 9, I think, Thursday night, and then 0 of 6 last night.
Yeah.
But overall, he's been really good.
So, yeah, Middleton already got rest in Chicago, so who knows?
A little Landry Shamet action.
I was thinking that. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, I don't want Landry Shamet. He's in the starting lineup, but nah.
He is, isn't he? Because Russ is out?
No, they've been starting him over Poole.
Oh, they've been starting him over Poole?
Yeah. Because they have, I think it's, who is it? Marvin Bagley, Kuzma.
All right, I guess that's what we're going with.
I don't even trust that lineup, but I guess.
I don't. You picked it out.
So shit. I picked Markkanen.
You did.
I only picked Markkanen. I don't know. Beasley can definitely do it, but there's some nights where he just doesn't shoot a lot.
Right.
And then Darvin Ham doesn't know how to play D'Angelo Russell, so.
So, yeah, Bane's out.
Oh. I mean, that's what you have to go with, though. I don't know.
I mean, there's always the Edwards play.
He real stinkers from 3, though.
Yeah, but he guns.
That's true.
So would this make you more confident?
Edwards over who? Russell?
Beasley.
Beasley?
At least we know D'Angelo Russell plays every night, and he's going to put up shots every night.
Yeah. Go with Edwards over Beasley.
Beasley averages a little bit more, but I don't know. It's just a guarantee. At least it feels more like a guarantee.
Yeah.
And then this is the one it'll be for tomorrow. Maybe I'll hit you up for it. But it's pick 5 players who will combine for at least 20 free throws made and 15 free throws attempted. But look at my first night, bro. Maxey hits 33. Kyrie returns to Boston, only drops 19.
Yeah, he didn't.
KB 25. So I needed like 25 from everybody, or like 24 exactly. 24 points from everyone, and I win. So Maxey hits for me, Brown hits for me, Simons gets 7 points, and then Towns without Edwards. Edwards was out, and he only gets 19.
Yeah, because Edwards missed the second half.
Yeah. He was going to miss even before the game started, he was going to miss the game, and then he came and only played the first half.
Yeah.
So that screwed me up. This one was easy last night. I put Jordan Clarkson in, and I didn't even know he was going to be out. So luckily, Murray and Van Fleet had 11 each and got me to the 25 assist mark. Schroeder killed it because Cam Thomas is out, and then D'Angelo Russell's always going to get his. But I think Austin Reeves had 11 assists last night, or like 14, something crazy.
Yeah, he had 14.
14, yeah. And then LeBron had like 9 assists.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was action packed for the Lakers, but I chose him because I only needed a few. I wasn't trying to, get too much.
And for whatever reason, Darvin Ham didn't play him much in the fourth quarter.
Who, Russell?
Yeah.
I ended up finishing the game, so.
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
That's weird. But yeah, so that's the lineup for today, guys.
Top 5.
Nurkic, Achua, Pirtle, Allen, and Mobley. What else? And I think that's about it. I mean, we tackled the Gilbert Arenas thing. Maybe there is no defense in the NBA. Maybe nobody is playing defense in the NBA,
But
and it's not just Eastern European people.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we tackled that conversation because we also seen Malik Beasley play some stellar defense. Total lockup. Locks up on the perimeter like this.
Is he European?
He must be. He must be Slavic. I think he comes from the Baltic region, maybe. Montenegro, one of these. Bosnia and Herzegovina. He's from Serbia. He might be. The way he defends, you would think he was Latvian.
Yeah, it would make sense.
It would make sense if Michael Beasley. Michael Beasley wasn't a defender either. I think Beasley is a Slovenian last name. And if your last name is Beasley, you actually don't defend well.
You put it all together there. Good job.
You're very welcome. I put all the pieces together. Malik Beasley and Michael Beasley are related. They're Romanian cousins. And their parents are actually from Greece. Little did we know they were European defenders.
Thank you for.
That's what I'm going to call people now. You're not a bad defender. You're a European defender.
Yep. Sonny agrees. I heard him.
You heard him, right? He said, true.
True.
All right. On that note, guys, before Sonny starts really speaking his mind, let's get out of here.
Podcast.
Two bald guys is enough yelling about something. The last thing is we need a third bald guy yelling about something.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too much.
Adios.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Rich, any last words?
I'm all set.
He's all set. And we'll see you guys. Until next time, it's been great. Thanks for